Hello and welcome. This is Deepak Mishra, and I welcome you all to Dominance International. Today, we have with us a young doctor from India, Dr. Bhargavi, who has recently passed her Fachsprachprüfung exam in first attempt in the state of Sachsen-Anhalt. We are going to have a small chat with her. We are going to find out how did she manage all these things, what her pathway was, how the exam was, what were her preparations, and if she has any tips and tricks for you for this Fachsprachprüfung exam. Do watch this video to the end. I'm sure you will have find lots of new information and lots of important things for the exam. Welcome, Dr. Bhargavi, to the Minutes
Yeah,
International.
hello. Yeah, hi. How are
First of
you?
all, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
First of all, on behalf of our all subscribers, I would like to congratulate you on your success in Fachsprachprüfung.
Thank you. Thank you so
All
much.
know that this is not an easy exam at all. It has a passing rate of just 50% average in entire Germany, 50-60%. That means every other candidate fails this exam in first attempt. You have passed that, so hats off to you. All right. So the first question comes, Bhargavi, that you are a MBBS graduate from India. Uh, First question comes that why have you chosen Germany as your future country? Like, why have you chosen post graduation in Germany? And why not other states? Like India itself has lots of opportunities nowadays. There's US, there's UK, Australia, New Zealand, so many. Why did you choose Germany?
Yeah, first of all, I've decided doing my post graduation in abroad in 2000 and 2018. In 2018, I've had three options like US or Australia and Germany. Like I've compared like three countries, like which one would be better. Uh, like if all three countries were a little bit longer. They take a lot of time, like 2 to 3 years. So I felt Germany as a better because it's like well advanced in technology. We have many options, and even they have world class treatment, I guess, best hospitals and all.
That is true.
And even there's
I
many
can.
opportunities for research even.
That is true. Having worked in a few hospitals in Germany myself, I can vouch for that. That the healthcare system that we have in Germany is one of the best in the world. However,
Yeah.
there is always a question about language barrier because those countries
Yes.
that I mentioned has have English as the language. There you can progress very rapidly and you learn things very fast. Here, language is a major barrier. What do you have to say
Yes.
about that?
Yeah. Language is a very big barrier, but once you cross that, it's everything is fun and yeah, it will be better.
That is the thing that many people get demotivated by the language itself. After studying the language for, like, say, a few months, they get demotivated and then they give up on the path. But then, as you rightly mentioned, that if you're persistent on that path, then language sometime in future fades away. Then you don't feel that barrier anymore. All right. So. I have asked you directly the question that why did you choose Germany? Because that is what I want to know from all my candidates, all the interviewees whom I talk to. That why? What is your motivation? You told that about yourself. Now I would like to know some details about yourself. Like, who are you? Who is Bhargavi, Dr. Bhargavi? Where do you come from? What have you done? How have you come here?
Yeah, I've completed my medicine in Pratima Institute of Medical Sciences, that is in Karimnagar in Telangana state. I've passed out in 2016. I got my medical license in 2017 March. Then after I got a job, I worked in under NHM, that is National Health Mission, for 1 year. Uh, then later on in 2018, I've decided to come to Germany. Then I've started seeing seeing all the videos about Germany and gathering information about the Germany, how would be and all. Even I used to watch your videos in 2018, like end of 2018, I've decided to come to Germany. So like in YouTube, I used to randomly I got your video in option. So I've searched that. I mean,
Yeah.
I have seen your videos, and it was very helpful.
I'm glad. I'm glad to know that my videos were helpful. I have been making videos since 4 years now, um, just hobby basis. And if those videos were helpful, then I'm very glad. Later on, we converted into company, then business, consulting, and all those things. But the initiation was only with YouTube videos, and the purpose was to give information which was not there. At present, there are many sources, there are many Facebook groups, many places where you can share information, but then back in the time in 2016 2017 there were no sources at all. So I'm glad that one more candidate who like has benefited from my videos. I'm very happy about that. Okay, so you came here, you said for language, right?
Yeah. After my A2 level.
Okay, so you did your B1 and B2 in Deutschland then.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay, okay. And then tell me, how did you land up in the state of Sachsen-Anhalt then? Because you told me that you were in NRW initially.
Yeah, I've done my B1 and B2 in Dortmund.
Yeah.
Then I was actually I have to apply my exam, FSP exam in NRW itself. But later on, I've been having many options. Like I have to write my exam in NRW or in Lower Saxony or in Sachsen-Anhalt. I've kept 3 or 4 options in Bavaria. So in one of my friend is working in Sachsen-Anhalt. He helped me out getting me job offer letter so that I can apply for FSP exam.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
That,
so I
that's wonderful.
landed.
That is a very good decision, I think you have made. Instead of Northern Westfalen taking the option of Sachsen-Anhalt, because compared, all exams are difficult. I mean, no exam is easy, but compared to what is going on in Münster, in Northern Westfalen, other states are relatively fairer. It's okay. I mean, in Northern Westfalen, the things are like very crazy, I would say. So yeah, and as that is the benefit of networking, that when you have friends and colleagues working in different places, then they help each other out and then it works out. That's wonderful. That's great. Okay.
Yeah, the main reason I choose Sachsen-Anhalt because like in Munster, like the waiting period is very long.
Mm.
My friend, he applied like almost 8 to 9 months before. Still, he was waiting for the exam date. I thought like I cannot wait that much long. So one of my friend have written recently in Sachsen-Anhalt. She got her exam date within 2 to 3 months. So yeah, I kept that in my mind and I've shifted here. Okay, let's wherever the exam is subjective. Like for one people it will be difficult, for one people it will be easier. We cannot say I was not thinking about my exam. I was thinking about the date. I have to get
Mhm.
my FSP exam date.
True, true, true. When you're prepared, then you're confident. Then it is like okay, whatever center is, it's irrelevant. I prepared well and I'm ready for the exam. That is one mindset. That's very nice. All right. So then tell me about what is the most important part, what our audience want to know from us today is that how was the Fachsprachprüfung in Sachsen-Anhalt? You went to Halle, right?
Yeah, it's in Halle.
Halle an der Saale. So I myself lived in Halle for 9, 10 months. I worked at the university in Halle over there
Oh,
in orthopedics and trauma surgery. Later on, the city was not, I mean, it was not my dream city where I would live for rest of my life with my family and all. That is why I kept on looking for other opportunities. And as soon as I got a job in another university, I left Halle. So, but then the hospital was good and yeah, time was good. So now we want to know the day of the Volkssprachprüfung. Okay, when you went there, how did things unfold? How did that all happen?
yeah. Actually, my exam was on September 5th.
Hmm.
My termin was like in afternoon session. My termin was. Um, yeah, I was like I was very anxious before my exam because like one of my friend had written his exam before 1 week. That was on August 29th, I guess. Yeah. He told all his positives and negatives, what he had done, what he faced during exam. So I kept all those things in my mind. I just went with one scenario. But during the exam, my exam was completely different. What he said.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, in Jackson and Halt, we'll be having 4 steps actually. I think in other states there'll be only 3 steps.
Hmm.
In Jackson and Halt, we have first like normally patient come. I mean, arst and patient
Hmm.
Gespräch, and second one like it's allgemein round. I mean, it will be like mimic the hospital situation. In
You
that
get
we
a
have
phone call over there, and you get a
yeah,
labor. That the nurse calls you up that okay, this patient is having this problem, and you get a phone call where they say the labor vet, and then you have to like respond to that. So that you mean, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And third one is like normal epic quiz around, and fourth is like ask task guest brush.
Okay.
So I got actually shadal trauma case. So the patient was like, I didn't get proper history from patient actually.
Okay.
Normally the first one is for 20 minutes. Like I've completed my guest brush within 15 minutes. I was explaining her Aufklärungs like CT and Blutabnama and everything. But the patient was not ready to hear. Like she was having only one doubt. Like I'm not. I'll get anxiety or I'll get allergy. I'm allergic to the contrast metal and all. I said like, don't worry. I'll give you like Berowing's metal before the uh, examination and all. So don't worry. I said that only one point. She said, okay, fine. I'm very happy for that. Okay, thank you, thank you. She went. She just left out of the room. I was like, what? Where did she go? Very
Okay.
soon.
So how
I
was
was like,
anamnese? Like how was the anamnese when you went to the room, right? There is you went to the room first. There must be like multiple examiners over there.
no,
One of them was a sample patient, or how was it?
no. There'll be no doctors. They'll be watching in. I think they'll be watching in CC camera how we
Okay,
take
now with
anamnesia.
Corona, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. There are no doctors in the room. Only the patient will be there. The doctors will be seeing us in CC camera. Only the patient will be there. So and one more barrier was like patient will be wearing mask and I'll be wearing mask.
Hmm.
She was not clear. I mean that too
Okay,
cotton mask. She was wearing cotton mask.
okay.
The voice was not so clear. So I felt again I was like I felt that was
How
little
was the
barrier for
anamnese? What did the patient have? Like, how was it? What did the patient tell you?
yeah she uh, she was going through by her bicycle. She was traveling through her bicycle. She felt little bit of yeah dizziness and loss of conscious. She felt for 2 to 3 minutes. For she went under LOC.
Mhm.
Then she was in hospital. She don't know what happened and all.
Okay, okay.
She came through this note of I mean note of Nama
Not
wagon.
arts. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
noticed wagon, and she was complaining like she felt schwindlish and for some moments she felt loss of conscious and she was in hospital
Okay,
and she fell on left side of her head and hand and she don't have any trauma outside. I mean she don't have any injuries outside of her body, no bleeding or anything, but she have a severe headache and she have a severe pain in her hand.
okay.
Her complaints was all this and she even have nausea and all like but
Okay.
no vomitings. Yeah,
So typical
these are the
commotio,
complaints.
typical commotio fall. That means typical concussion. That nausea,
Yeah,
vomiting, loss of consciousness, and
yeah,
headache. She had.
yeah,
Okay. And another, as past complaints, did she have major past history, major Vorerkrankungen?
yeah. She have a DVT in both her both
Okay,
legs.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. She have DVT. She was on anticoagulation therapy,
Okay,
since past 3 months,
3 months. Okay,
and
wonderful. Yes,
yeah,
it's
only
getting
since three
interesting.
months. Yeah, since only past 3 months. And she underwent surgery for Obersprunggelenfraktur.
Mhm.
That is before 7 years.
Okay,
Uh, yeah, that was in Acte actually.
okay, okay. So,
Yeah.
did these things you got actor from the? How did the patient tell you all these things, or did you find it in the actor in the files?
No, everything I found out from the patient itself. Like she's taking Markumar since
Okay.
last 3 months, and she went surgery for Obersprunggelenfraktur fracture. Then later, even I got detailed information in Acte, like how did she that fracture happened for her. I
Okay.
got that information from Acte, and
That is that you
what
got later on. That you got
yeah
later
that
after
is
meeting the
yeah
patient. Okay.
later on.
After your 20 minutes were over.
Yeah, that is in second round I got that
Okay.
Acte.
So here, then this patient you had, I mean, this hand, did the hand also have something, or hand was like, okay, the arm you said left arm was also injured
Yeah,
somehow?
I mean, she cannot move. I mean, it was restricted. She said like, I cannot move. It's painful,
Okay.
but no injuries external. She don't have any injuries.
Wonderful. All right. So, what specific history? I mean, this history was relevant. I mean, did you have anything extra special in the history from the patient, or did you make any mistakes? Something that you did not understand what the patient was saying, or something you had to repeat to the patient again and again to make her understand? Like, did you have any communications problem with the patient?
No, I was like clear enough. I asked all the questions, but I missed out like basic one. I thought like these questions are not important for this case, like body temperature and all. So I didn't ask those questions. Like I thought, okay, later on we can ask those. If that is any infection case, like we would be asking first only, like what is the have you been checked your temperature and have taken anything, NSAID or paracetamol anything. But I didn't ask those questions. But in when just I asked if you have to write the body temperature and all. So I missed those. Like I didn't write. I left it blank.
So, okay, this was the 20 minutes conversation. Then you had to do counseling. When the patient asked that, okay, Frau Doctor, was habe ich? Then, oder wie ist der weitere Plan? Then, what did you say? Like, how did you tell the patient the plan, your diagnosis or the plan?
Yeah. I said like first of all, have to do you have to send you to investigations to certain that is like CT brain and some Roentgen
Okay.
of arm, your upper arm,
Yeah.
and then we'll even take blue tab because you said you have DVT. We don't. We have to find out your quick and INR and PTT values. So we have to send you these investigations and you have to be under observation. Then after coming these results, we'll be saying, okay, you have to either admit in the hospital or you can discharge. We'll be saying. She said, okay, fine. I'm a little bit nervous about this contrast metal and all. So I said that, okay, don't worry. We'll be giving you.
Here I would interrupt you. This contrast metal thing. I think that was a trick question because in Shadle City, because if it was a case something else, other diagnosis, then I would not be saying this. But since it was a Shadle trauma case, and I see that day and night in the hospital, so I know that that is why in Shadle, you don't use contrast metal. It's a native city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is why the patient was like playing dumb that okay, I have contrast metal allergy. So
Yeah.
for Fachsprach level, it's okay, but approbation level, it would have been like important that you tell the patient that okay, we will not be using contrast metal here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be receiving these Aufklärungs, like
Hmm.
some of the main points, like which we have to cover with the patient, like main
Okay.
points. But I don't have time actually reading all those points. Like within 2 minutes, I have to go to the patient and I have to start my anamnesis and all.
Okay.
So I've
The
covered.
exam that means that before you went to the patient, you had Aufklärungsbogen, you got a Aufklärungsbogen which you could read, and then you know that okay, from this I have to do the Aufklärung.
No, they will mention us like you have to explain CT and Blutabnama and Roentgen. We'll be having those.
So you
So
have
and
just,
even
but then you have just few minutes to prepare for that.
yeah, my friend, yeah, that was the thing. Like my friend had 10 to 15 minutes time. I was having only 2 minutes time. The doctor came and he asked me to go inside and take the start. I was like, I started very calmly, like, okay, we have 10 to 15 minutes time, right? So I was reading very slowly. I was just in first and second line. The doctor came and he just asked me to go inside and start anamnesia. I thought, what? They said like it's we have 10 to 15 minutes time, but the scenario was completely different. Like coming to my case.
Okay. So, okay, then this after this, you must have gotten that second tile that you said that where you get a phone call or so. What did you get? What happened in that section, second section?
Yeah, first one, I received Anforderungsbogen. I have to write the patient symptoms and all, what all the symptoms which what patient I've told and what I observed signs. And then I have to write to rule out this any blutung or any fracture in arm. So I
Anforderungsbogen
have
for
written
CT
that,
scan.
yeah, for CT and Roentgen.
Okay, all right.
Then Then after that, I'll get a video uh, from a doctor in a laptop. They'll give us a laptop and they'll play a video. In that, one doctor will be giving us instructions regarding the patient. That he actually, my friend told me that we have to answer this. We'll be having questions regarding this video tile in the last Viva round. What the doctor has said, what to be monitored, and what all investigations to be done. We have to tell all those. I was like concentrating about that. Okay, but the doctor said like starting. He's working in intensive station, and he said like I don't have empty beds right now here, just keep the patient in observation in ward. After, if any beds are empty, so I'll take the patient in intensive station. He gave some intro about that, but I was not I didn't keep that one in my mind. I was then later he said that okay, check the patient's conscious level.
Okay.
Is she drowsy, or if ever she goes into LOC, just inform me. Then just check the patient vitals. I mean, like blood pressure. If she is like hypotension or hypertension, just inform me. All pulse and all. Then later on, just now the quick word is lower. Then repeat the test after 2 hours and just inform me the value. He said all this stuff. Then okay, the video was there. It's like for 1 minute 10 seconds, I guess. The video was. We can see that video for 2 times. Uh, yeah, we can see that video for 2 times. Then after that, we'll be getting Arctic.
Okay.
And we'll be getting investigations also, that whichever we
So
recommended,
the
like
orders
CT.
are, yeah.
Yeah, which we are ordered, like CT and X-ray and blue tab. We'll be getting those reports, and even the patient's old file. I mean, like patient, like she had undergone a Obersprunggelenk fracture surgery, like before 7 years. That's like very big history. Uh,
Imagine.
I mean, it's like so much. We have to read. I thought like I have to read. I have to memorize each and everything. Uh, like what was done on first day, what was done on second day. After 1 week, what she had done, drainage. She had any drainage, and okay, what was discharge medication. Everything was there stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, what
Arts
happened?
brief basically. It was a arts brief where detailed the Entlassungsbrief after the operation, the discharge brief.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Then we have to note all the details in that ACTE, and we have to even note those blood values, which is abnormal. So the quick water was lower, and PTT INR was higher.
Okay.
And in CT, it was like a subarachnoidal hemorrhage. And in Roentgen, that was normal bifunda. There was no fracture or anything. So this session, like ACTE, was like for 15 minutes. We have to see all those files, I mean, investigations and all, and this ACTE. For that, everything 15 minutes. Then
Okay.
later on, we'll be getting this FARC begriffer.
Okay.
That is 16 FARC begriffer, and with two anatomical markings, like one chryson and croizon.
Correct.
Uh,
So you get a photo like a skeleton where you have to mark that, okay, when they say
yeah,
the Schienbein, then you know what the Schienbein is and you mark that area on
yeah,
that.
yeah. We'll get two anatomical skeletons. Like we have to mark one croissant. Like I got one stern one, and
Okay.
second one will be for sure. Either right or links. I mean rex or links. Over Lincoln, over knee or under knee. We'll be
Okay.
getting all this. And the we'll be I mean, like we'll be getting confused. Like okay, which one is right side and which is left side? That
Okay.
is more important. We have to keep that in mind. So
Okay.
again, after that, yeah, I completed the Spark Bakery for within 2 or 3 minutes. I thought like okay, only these many. I thought.
So
In
were they
between, we
easy
get
Fag Big or was it like difficult? Have you prepared for them or was it like very
no, I've prepared almost like 1,000 Spark Bakery for, so
okay?
I felt it
Then
like little bit easier.
yeah.
Uh, so in between, we'll be getting a audio call. I mean, from Labor. So I was stuck in this call actually.
Okay.
Uh, she only told once, and she was able to keep the call. I didn't understand the date of birth actually. I mean, it was 30 or 13. Uh, I asked her, can you repeat the date of birth again? The lab values which I got was natrium and kalium.
Uh-huh.
I've written, I just heard it once. I mean, I didn't even ask a second time. I was stuck only nearby date of birth. Can you
Okay.
repeat the date of birth again? I asked her. She said that because the voice was very low in the mobile. Actually, I mean that cordless phone.
Yeah.
So I asked her, "Can you repeat?" She repeated, and she kept the phone. I was like, "Oh my god, what is now?" Okay, I was
Did you at
like my
least get the
friends
natrium
many.
kalium wet, or like were you stuck in the date of birth only?
Yeah, I was stuck on the date of birth only. I didn't ask about natrium and kalium. That's like second part for me because I was stuck near date of birth. Like my friend said me that video tile is very important and labor is very important. If you say anything wrong in that, that's it. You're gone. I mean, more chances you'll be failing the exam. They said. I was like, okay. I was sitting there and was thinking, okay, again I have to. I think I have to apply for my FSP exam. When I'll be getting date. I was thinking all this stuff sitting there. I was
So,
not thinking about the Viva round. I was thinking all this.
so then, okay, this happened. After that, you must have written your epicrisa, that is the
Yeah.
ambulance brief where you write all those things. So about that, we'll not go in detail because that we know what to write and how to write. The third part in arts Gespräch, in the fourth part in arts Gespräch, how was that, and how were the questions? That would be interesting for our audience, I think.
Yeah. Like two doctors will be there. First, we are, well, they started like telling. They was not asking. They were not even waiting for my introduction. Actually, they said like, "I'm Oba asked. You just present me the case." So I just started with my case. That's it. I presented till the complaints. I presented my case. Then they interrupted me and they were asking me, okay, in 4 hour Krankungan, or like what all patient have any diseases or anything.
Yeah.
They were asking. So I said like she was having DVT since last 3 months and she was on Markumar and okay, any risk factors for that? They asked. Okay, she was like 70 years old, high risk of she's elder patient, and moreover she is uh, what is that? One more risk factor she was having.
Smoker, diabetes,
Yeah, she's a smoker.
ill,
Yeah, she's a smoker. Raukarin, she's a Raukarin, and even this she was
suicidal
taking
thoughts.
a Marcumar. I mean, it's like again, it's a it's a risk factor for again for a subarachnoidal hemorrhage. It will be
Right.
uh,
What they wanted to know from you was basically the Wells score. They wanted you to tell the what is like according to Wells score, what is the risk factor for lungan emboli or DVT in this patient. But then for
yeah,
Fachsprachprüfung, if you say it, it's good. If you don't say it, then also it's okay. I mean, they expect that for approbation.
yeah,
So
exactly.
what I feel
Then
from that question line of questioning is that they wanted to know the word Wells score from you. That okay, loud Wells score. The score is
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I didn't mention anything about well score. Like it's like if you have more than two or more than three, I
Yes.
mean it's like but I didn't I didn't mention about anything about well score. I just said like age and she's a Raukarin and she have this gluten, right? So I mispronounced I pronounced it in English like subarachnoidal. That's arachnoidal, right?
Sugar.
So yeah, I mean they corrected that. That's not arachnoidal. That is arachnoidal. So yeah, they make me repeat it for 2 or 3 times. Yeah. Then later on, they asked questions about this video. Tell what doctor had conveyed you the message and all. I said like you have to all these measures. I said, but they were asking, okay, what else doctor had said to you? I was like, only these. I mean, regarding patient, I thought. No, they were asking, no, something again, something he said. He said. I was like, okay. I thought, okay, the beds were not empty in the intensive station. He asked me to keep the patient in this ward. When the bed will get emptied, you can shift the patient to intensive station. He said, yeah, exactly. I was waiting for that answer. He said. So later on, again he asked me about these labo values again. I was stuck. I thought like actually to say frankly, I decided to say I've written that is 30 itself, my date
Mm,
of birth, but I thought of saying 13.
mm.
Tries and saying I thought of it, but when I say that they'll be having some question mark in their face. What is that? Again, when they have that question mark, I thought of changing my answer. It's like
Okay. Yeah.
30. I planned that actually, but by
You were
God's
right in
grace,
the first attempt then.
but by God's grace, 30 is correct answer.
All right.
So yeah,
And
every
how was the kalium and natrium read by this patient?
yeah, those also were correct.
All right, wonderful. So okay, so these arts. So did they also? I mean, this was basically that they wanted the information transfer. That did you get the all information from the patient and from the doctor in the video and from the labor, and did you understand everything properly? That is what they wanted to test you. Did they also test on your medical knowledge, like any question regarding to the case, any medical questions that they asked you?
Yeah, I mean, what all you'll do? I mean, what you're thinking? Like
Hmm?
they asked me, how you'll further treat the patient and all. So I said like, okay, first I'll keep the patient under observation and we'll be giving. Uh, she had a severe headache, analgetics for
Hmm.
that, and later on, if she have any uh, intracranial pressure increased due to subarachnoid hemorrhage, then we have to. I didn't tell her anything about. I didn't mention anything about surgery. I have told a basic one. I mean, uh, yeah,
Okay.
supportive. We
So
have to.
you gave them the plan that they asked you that, okay, this patient, this case, how will you manage, right? That was the
Yeah,
question. They asked you that. Okay.
yeah,
That means
exactly.
that you need to know details about subarachnoidal hemorrhage to pass this exam. If you have told, okay, diagnosis is correct, all the information is correct, but then I don't know how to do it, I mean, that would have been bad, correct?
Exactly.
But why I'm asking you this, like, so emphasizing on this question is that many people say that medical knowledge is not tested in this exam. Okay.
No, even they'll see. I mean, they'll see our medical knowledge, and even they'll see our normal language. Even after my medical questions, they talked with me for 10 minutes. Normal Gespräch.
Ah,
Like, yeah, they normal. They were asking like all basic questions. Where did you complete your medicine?
mhm.
Where do you have done your B2 and all language? They talked for almost 10 minutes. That Gespräch was 10 minutes. Like,
All right, all right. So, all right, then, what else? I mean, the okay, now we have learned about the FSP exam in Halle in detail. Now we would like to know about your preparation. How did you prepare for this exam? How long did you take? What books did you read? Uh, yeah, please tell me about that.
yeah, I've started like since 3 months. I mean, I've my classes were for 2 months actually. Uh,
So you
then
took a FSP, you took a coaching class for FSP, like
yeah,
from Institute of.
yeah,
Okay,
it's in Magdeburg itself. It's in MDWI. Like it's a classes weekly, 3 classes. Yeah,
okay, okay. So all right. And what books did you read then?
yeah. I followed this Deutsche für Arzt and Ärztinnen. And
Okay.
yeah, and another book only Deutsch for Arzt. I mean, there's another book for. I read all the Fachbegriffe from that book itself. It helped me a lot actually. In that, almost like 700 Fachbegriffe are there, and in some other books I've referred like almost 2 or 300 Fachbegriffe in some books.
And that helped you, like the
Yeah, yeah, literally. I mean, I just that was very easy. I
did you
felt.
also practice with your friends about this exam for this Übung?
Yeah, I mean, I used to daily. I used to take anamnesia. I mean, one thing, uh, we how much ever we practice, like when we go during our exam day, we don't get that flow. I mean, how we practice and all, because the patient will be answer. We have to ask the questions. How the patient answers.
Yes.
We have to go in that flow because
That see
we.
that happens that you are correct that that happens. That is why, like, now I also have this FSP course that we are making, this online video course, and initially also when I was teaching FSP students last year, I used to focus that you focus on the structure,
Yeah,
because the patient will take you for a ride. Patient will give you questions here and answers here and there, and if
exactly.
you follow the patient's lead, then your time will be up and you will be left with your questions. Okay,
Exactly.
so that is why you have to have a structure, a very clear
Yeah.
structure in your mind. Patient deviates, you take the information, cut it short, come back to your question. That the structure. That is what I focus. That this I'm aware of this problem. What happens is because the
Yeah,
20 minutes time
exactly.
is very short.
Yes, yes. That happened. That even happened to me.
Okay, okay. Wonderful. All right. So, but then successfully, I mean, you did it, everything, you managed things successfully, so everything is fine now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, now candidates who are watching this video at present, people who want to take this Fachsprachprüfung soon, uh, what suggestions or what tips, tricks would you like to tell them? What would you say? as a senior person now, you have cleared this barrier. You are giving suggestions to your like fellows who are still to take this exam.
Yeah. I want to give one advice, like uh, you'll be getting many experiences, you'll be receiving many advices from many people, like whoever written their exam. Each one will have a different experience, like everyone don't have the same experience that I've experienced. Literally.
Correct, correct.
Because don't get panic. If you are well prepared for the exam, you can clear it at the first attempt. That is for sure. But you have to have one plan and strategy. I mean, you have to know exactly how what are the cases you have to prepare. What are the books, especially what are the books you need to follow, and you have to practice more and more. That's the main thing.
All right then. Okay, so this was a detailed information about the course, about the like exam and preparation strategy of Dr. Bhargavi. Um, Here, before concluding this video, I would also like to mention or inform our audience that Dr. Bhargavi has her own YouTube channel. Uh, Maybe she can tell us more about that channel.
Yeah, I've recently started my YouTube channel. Actually, I have a plan to start this YouTube channel since past 3 years, but I'm postponing it that. But finally, I've started. Actually, I plan I planned to start my YouTube channel after my Foxtrot perform,
Okay,
but suddenly on Monday I felt like no, I have to do it. So I started that last 1 month back. So you can find some entertainment, everything. I cover all the topics.
wonderful, wonderful. We're not boring like our channel because we cover only one topic. So your channel will be much more interesting than that. So I would recommend our viewers and subscribers to go to her channel. The link for that I will post in our description section. You can check that out. And if you like the videos, tell her that you like the videos. You subscribe to her channel. And people who are new to our channel, do subscribe our channel as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So, yeah. Apart from this, anything else that you want to share now? Your experience in Germany. Anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. You can best place to settle in the world, I guess. Europe is the best place to settle in the world, obviously. Yeah, because here the work and personal life. I mean, we have work. Yeah, work-life balance we have, obviously, not like in other countries.
True, true, true. That I totally agree upon that. So, which direction do you want to go to? Which department are you going to work in after your probation?
Yeah, I have two options in my mind. That is, one is reproductive medicine and infertilities
Okay, that's nice.
specialization.
First, then
Yeah,
you have to do Fakat's gynecology and then okay.
yeah. Then one more option is like cosmetic surgeon. I want to become. And
Right, you have time to take your approbation, and after that you can think, because two extremely different branches, two super specialities, and two difficult to get branches, I would say at this point
yeah,
itself.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but then I wish you all the luck, and from all our subscribers and audiences, I thank you very much for taking your time and giving this information, sharing your experience about the exam. This exam is very crucial. I try to build more and more content, more and more information, so that students, doctors are motivated to take this exam and pass this exam in first attempt. Thank you
Uh,
very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, then we conclude this video here and see you sometime soon.
Yeah. Bye.